It's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's Monday, and it's great to be here. I was gone all weekend long. And guess what I did this weekend? You ready? Nothing. I did absolutely, positively nothing. And it was great. And it was great. It was one of the few weekends I actually sat here and did absolutely nothing. I did a lot of reading. I finished the Ian Smith book, so I was able to do that and finally finish it. It was called Eagle Rock. He was here a couple months ago to promote his new book, Eagle Rock. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Now I'm reading another book by another local author who's a lawyer who wrote a fiction book, and now he's trying to get it made into a streaming series. So we'll see. And when he does it, I'll have him on the show too. It's a white guy, but they're from Milwaukee, so what can I say? Also, we're working on some book things. We're working on some book ideas, and we're trying to cajole a few local partners into maybe doing a Saturday book club or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. A Saturday book club to, talk about all kind of books, black books, all sorts of things. So I think that would be pretty cool. It's just me, but I think it would be pretty cool. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me see if I can. So Tory Lowe started a issue, and I want to see if I can, in Tory Lowe's words, tap into it and talk about some of the things that happened. So first of all, before I get started, I want to say happy birthday to my spouse, Carla Harris. Today is her birthday, so I want to say happy birthday to her. I don't know if she's listening. She probably isn't. She got other stuff she got to do. So maybe I should call her. You think I should call her? Say happy birthday? Huh? Should I? Hit me on the talk and text line and just tell me. Should I call her and wish her happy birthday? Yep. On. Yep. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Should I? Shouldn't I? I don't know. Do we have a phone potted down? Can you pot the phone down? Can you pot the phone down?
What do you mean pot it down?
Like the
Volume?
volume. Yep. Turn it off. Okay.
I mean, it was already off.
Oh, okay. You could pot it up now. We'll see. Pitiful. How all circus busy? How? Let me give you this. Hang on. So I'm gonna make a phone call and see, and just kind of, before I get all into my Dr. Ken's truth, I wanna, because that way I can get brownie points. Maybe I'll get dinner. Boom, 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 boom. Still waiting. No answer? Okay.
Will you let the phone ring?
No, it's supposed to be instantaneous pickup. Still waiting. And we're waiting. Wait, good. Hello, you're on the air. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. I just called to tell you happy birthday from 1017 The Truth and Truth Nation.
Thank you.
You
Thank you very much.
St. Patty's Day baby.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
I
So
am.
now all of Truth Nation knows happy birthday.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Brownie points. I got dinner for at least a week. 833-212-1017. So Tori was talking all this nonsense about men and women and should women invite men and all that other stuff. So here's my question. Etiquette versus equality. Are men and women equal? Are men and women actually equal? And which one is more important? Does one override the other? Does it? Etiquette says one thing. The guy asks the girl out. But there's nothing to stop a woman from asking a man out. Women don't like rejection. I think most guys will let a woman off significantly easier than a woman lets a man off. And if you disagree, 833-212-1017. So here's my thing. Etiquette or equality? Women talk about their equal. Women talk about everything straight, and they're feminists. Women can do anything men can do. Then women should be drafted. When they turn 18, they need to fill out their draft form, and if they don't do that and they don't have a voter registration card, they can't do stuff. That's what I would do if it's equal. Women need to be drafted into the military, be in combat, get blown up, shot up, everything just like men. Even when they didn't want to go in World War I, World War II, Korean conflict, Vietnam, Desert Storm, all that. Not because you were, well, I feel like I want to serve my country and I want to go into the military. I want to pay for school. No, you need to be drafted. You need to fill out and have to have a draft card just like men so that you can't even get financial aid. You can't even fill out your FAFSA because one of the questions they ask you is, if you're male and you're 18, have you registered for the draft? Even though we don't have a draft, but we might have one under Trump. Are women equal? From business to relationships, are men and women equal? And does equality mean equality in everything? I say yes. I say yes. But the problem is this. Women don't let men be equal to them. Women get to change their mind. Women get to not to wait for a door to be open and then holler at you for not opening the door. And then man holds the door open and holler at him when they hold the door open. Women get to choose everything. So we're not equal because women expect men to be in leadership when they decide men should be in leadership. I knew of a woman who said, if you didn't carry the baby, you don't have a say in anything she does with them at all. You can't have input. Can't talk about kiddo. Can't tell where they're going to school. Can't tell what they eat, how they get raised. Nothing. And I think that's ridiculous. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. And if I was single and I had children, there is absolutely no way a mother would get away with that. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Anybody remember Sadie Hawkins? Sadie Hawkins. You remember Sadie Hawkins? No? You know what Sadie Hawkins is, DJ Brother Z?
Nope.
Sadie Hawkins, the concept originated from the American comic strip Lil Abner, created by Al Cap in 1937. In the storyline, Sadie Hawkins was a fictional character who was described as the ugliest girl in all them hills, whose father, desperate to get her married, declared a special day where unmarried women could chase bachelors and claim them as husbands. And over time, when I was growing up, it evolved into a Sadie Hawkins dance. Remember those? Which became popular in schools across the United States. And that's where events where gender roles in dating were reversed. Women and girls took the initiative by inviting men and boys as their I don't know that I can hear what you're saying. What's
She said all her dances were whatever it's
That's
called.
because she went to DSHA. You had to invite boys every time you wanted to go out to a dance or have a
those
dance.
are all girls' school?
Yeah. So these dances, often held in high schools and colleges, became a playful and socially acceptable way to promote gender role reversal. I say equality in courtship. Less common today, Sadie Hawkins dances remain a cultural reference for events where women take the lead in dating or social interactions. Is that something we need today? Or is it natural? Because I'm be honest with you. Unless a woman pays first, she ain't paying for my meal. Ever. Not happening. We equal? And I have to say, you ready? It's ego. It is straight ego. Ego. Or is it etiquette? I say whoever does the inviting out to the meal pays for the meal. If you want equality, you get equality. Or is it just nature that men lead and women follow? I know that just upset somebody and the world just turned upside down, but is it? 833-212-1017 is the number. Is it etiquette? Is it etiquette? Or is it the stamp of nature?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Level Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. One of my favorite songs, O Fortuna. O Fortuna. So, 833-212-1017 is the number. Curly said, my mother talked about Sadie Hawkins' dance. I bet she had a ball at a Sadie Hawkins' dance. She got to ask all the guys, hey, want to go out? And when you went to the dance, they get to ask you to dance. You can't ask them to dance. So think about that. You can't ask them to dance, but they ask you to dance. So there you go. That's on the chat. Yep, we had those dances when I was in school. Yep. Vanessa say happy birthday, Carla. So anyway, talking text line, George, get your life. Like, that's the dumbest thing you've ever heard. It's 4 o'clock and you just now telling her happy birthday. You hear how you sound? I love it that no matter what I say, you try to find fault in it, and then you put something dumb on the talking text line. It's 4 o'clock. You just do it. Hey, from now on, I ain't reading nothing George says. George can call. George can text. He's done. You're dead to me, George. You're dead. Telling your family. 833-212-1017 is the number. Interesting. So would you ask a guy out to date? I mean, would you? If you're a woman, would you ask a guy, hey, want to go on a date? And what if he says no? You going to get upset? I can't believe you told me no. He told me no. He said, absolutely not. No. Go off on you like you, why are you bothering me? You see me sitting here trying to have a drink, trying to mind my own business. You see I'm alone, or I'm waiting on somebody. You can have a seat if you like. What if you buy him a drink and he, oh, thank you very much, drinks it, and then their date comes, or their friends come? Then what? See, role reversal, I don't think women are ready for role reversal. You all have dehumanized men and called masculinity toxic to the point where when I hear that come out of a person's mouth, a woman or a guy, I stop talking to him. I'm like, bye. Because what you're telling me is don't be yourself, change who you are. But if a woman decides she wants to walk over you, that's okay. If she wants to be aggressive, that's okay. And for black women, it's a stereotype. The angry black woman. Black women are not angry. White women can go off. Black women can't go off. Somebody told me the other day, they said they listened and they were white. I think it was a white female. And they said, sometimes you say things and I feel uncomfortable. I said, how you think I've been feeling for 60-some years? Got to watch what you say, watch what you do, watch where you go, watch what you wear. People get offended. So I have that hat that says black and bougie. And I said it the other day. God looks at me like, what you wearing that for? My African-American museum looked at me like, what you wearing? I said, listen, the world don't revolve around white people. I know y'all think it do. I know you really think it does. And like everything that you do is correct and everything people don't. But that's just not the world. That's just not how the world works anymore. And I think that's the fear. I think many times white people are afraid they're going to lose something. I think now is the time, if you live in the city, stay in the city. Don't move to a suburb. But I understand why people say that people that move to a suburb, so sell out. Well, I don't think it's selling out. But if you don't want me in your suburb, Ozaukee County, if you don't want me in your suburb, if you look at me sideways, I'm not coming. And I got friends that live in Grafton, friends that live in Cedarburg, friends that live in Port. I visited one time. I said, I'm done. No more. I'm tired of getting looked at like, what are you doing here? Or like I'm there to steal something. I'm just done. And then you hear the ridiculous, well, I'm afraid to go to Milwaukee County. Well, then stay in Ozaukee County. I'm afraid they might bite me or something. They might, oh my God, I'm terrified. Well, then leave. Don't come back. Or better yet, I just won't come and then you don't have to worry about it. And then that way there's never any issue. There's never any problem. And then people try to appease you. It's okay. I said, no. I'm not afraid to go. I'm just not going. And I love Ozaukee County. I got a lot of friends in Mequon. It's a great place. But at some point, just got to let it go. So I'm going to let it go. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I listened while I was doing my show prep. And so today, cops were in schools. 25 school resource officers. They went to court. I watched the proceeding with Judge Borowski. Milwaukee County Circuit Court, and they squashed the order, and they got them there, and they're not going to do the $1,000 a day fine to the city, which I thought was really idiotic that you would fine the city. Wouldn't you fine MPS? And why isn't MPS paying for all of it? When we do something for you, you pay. They're a separate district from the city of Milwaukee. City of Milwaukee can't do jack with MPS. But if I'm sending your kids there, I would use the weight that I have, the 61,000 weights that I have called children, and get MPS to do something. I think it was atrocious that Judge Borowski made it 50-50. But MPS is the one that had the mandate, and it was unfunded. Why we got to pay for it? Alexander Ayala, the president of Milwaukee Police Association, told WISN 12 News on the 15th that 25 officers and 7 supervisors will oversee several schools. Each will respond as necessary. They completed the 40-hour training on Friday, and Mayor Cavalier Johnson said on Saturday, I am happy we've been able to work on a similar accord the last week in order to make this happen. I think we'll be in good shape for come time for implementation. Well, that's 2 days later. So, we'll see how it goes. It's only 25 cops for a bazillion schools, right? Most of the schools don't have any issues at all, and some do. Vanessa said it's not selling out moving to the suburbs. People can live anywhere they choose. You missed my point, Vanessa. You missed my point. I'm saying that sometimes when you go to a suburb and they act like they don't want you, why go? Why go? Why visit? Why spend your money there? Let's start building some things in Milwaukee where we can go. Oh, that's right. Walmart won't come to Milwaukee. Target won't come to Milwaukee. Menards won't come. Do we have any? No. Yeah, see. Right. And I might be wrong about that. And so I say, the heck with them. What you should have been doing is locking people up who were stealing out of Walmart on the east side. But we had a very limp-wristed district attorney who's now gone, who wouldn't do his job. As if he was doing the black community a favor. If white people are stealing, arrest them. If black people, it doesn't matter. Bottom line, you commit a crime, you get arrested. If you need a trial, you have a trial. So, yeah. Oh, well. Another happy birthday. So, but that's what it comes down to. It comes down to really, really, really understanding. So we got cops back in the schools. Speaking of schools, when we come back, it's some stuff going on that's just weird in schools in the last month. Men, women, and it ain't in Milwaukee. Interesting. And now with traffic on 101.7 The Truth, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Well, we do have some delays. Eastbound 94 coming in from about Brookfield Road past Calhoun. Same thing on the westbound side, by the way, just west of Moreland Road all the way to Brookfield Road. A little bit closer into town, eastbound slowing down still from just east of 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound slowing from 25th Street through the Stadium as well to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 riders, watch out. It's going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down to the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, slowing down from Fond du Lac all the way up to Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, breezy with the low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with the high in the 40s to the north, 50 in Milwaukee, 60s to the south. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service you get from Pella, but talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. Helping fulfill people's dreams is very rewarding to them, and it shows through their tremendous efforts. Pella consultants take the time to listen to each customer, finding the right solution that works for their home. They know that everyone's situation is different. Maybe you have a historic home you're renovating, or it's a new build with unique finishes. Pella designers can customize windows and doors to perfectly match any one-of-a-kind abode. They're with you from start till finish. It's like having a friend on call throughout the project and beyond. They don't disappear after the sale. Right now, take advantage of windows as low as $32 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Certain restrictions apply. Ends March 31st, 2025. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snibe. The Milwaukee Bucks dropped a tough one on Sunday night, falling to OKC by a final score of 121-105. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers discussing his team not playing up to the best team from the West.
I think that was the difference, and you can feel it, you can see it. I thought the one guy with us was Giannis. I thought he had that intention. He felt that. No one else. I don't think anyone else did. I thought that was the difference in the game.
Next up for the Bucks is a 10-day road trip out west. They'll start with Golden State on Tuesday night. Over to college hoops, where the Wisconsin Badgers fell to Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. The Badgers did, however, secure the 3 seed in the bracket. They'll face off with 14-seeded Montana on Thursday to begin the tournament. And Marquette awarded the 7 seed. They'll face off against New Mexico on Friday in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Hey, Truth Nation, 4th Annual Tory Low Community Cleanup is Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. till 12 noon, and we want you to be there. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com. That's Truth Community Cleanup, all one word, .com. Sign up to volunteer to help keep Milwaukee clean. Everyone who registers for the last cleanup site will get a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Now, register today at truthcommunitycleanup.com. Let's help beautify our city. Let's do it together. Tory Low Cleanup is on Saturday, April 12th, 8 a.m. to 12 noon, presented by 1MKE. We are 1MKE, and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Reyes, Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Race and Waste Management. So that'd be pretty cool. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hang on a second. So, all right. And there's another reason I don't visit Racine County. Racine County Sheriff's Office arrested a man and a woman following an investigation into a registered sex offender allegedly violating his status by doing what? Filming children at school in Racine. According to the Racine County Sheriff's Office, the ICAC, or Internet Crimes Against Children Division, began investigating Paul Shelton, 43, on March 7th. After he was reportedly seen filming children at a local grade school, authorities determined Sheldon was on school grounds without permission, violating the terms of his sex offender status. He was also found to be in violation of his bond related to a previous court case involving child neglect and truancy. And on March 13th, law enforcement executed a warrant at Sheldon's house where he and his quote-unquote significant other, Dana R. Kozella, Kozeluh, 43, were taken into custody. Kozella, arrested for bail jumping related to the same previous court case, and Child Protective Services assisted in placing the couple's children into care. Sheldon faces charges of failing to update his sex offender information, photographing a minor without consent, failing to notify the school of his sex offender status, and 3 counts of misdemeanor bail jumping. Kozella is being charged with misdemeanor bail jumping. Both were transported to Racine County Jail. Charges have been submitted to the Racine County District Attorney's Office. We will only see what happens. They got cops at their school? Sound like they need cops at their school. Because that's. Now, L. Dawson, when you say no, I wouldn't, what do you mean, no, I wouldn't? No, you wouldn't move? No, you wouldn't. Like, I look at myself on YouTube sometime and I'm just slouching. Ugh. I got to sit up. Act like I got some sense. But, yeah, it's. What do we do with sex offenders? What do we do with sex offenders? Interesting. And we just think, sex offender, big deal. Like, I make it a point not to look at that list when you find out where all the sex offenders live. Because you'd be like, what? Yep. When you start seeing it, you start to wonder what is going on. What is going on? I don't understand. That I don't understand. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand. Like, I can't understand. Anyway, it's just not, it's like a rabbit hole. You can't go down the rabbit hole because once you go down, you'll never come back. You'll never come back. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, ladies, are you equal? Yes or no? And if you are, equal in what? Intellect? Yes. Body strength? No. Height? Maybe. No. On average? No. Strength? No. I don't know, ability to make money. There are significant gaps between men and women. I think sometimes people try to make those gaps purposeful, when in fact they're driven by culture. They're driven by I don't know, they're driven by need. There are some instinctive things in men and women that, all things being equal, regardless of who you are or what your preference is or whatever, there's some feminine things about women that just don't go away. There's some things that drive women to do certain things, like kill for their kids. But I don't know if women would kill for, would you kill for your husband? I don't know. And I can't fathom that because I'm not a woman. As a man, would you die for your spouse? Would you die for your family? I can't think of a man, unless he's just a straight punk. I can't think of a man, regardless of size, not jumping in and getting into a scrap if somebody's coming after their family. I just can't. But I had a friend of mine who was a police officer in another town, fairly big city, and she was the cop, and husband wasn't. So when stuff jumped off, boop, she turned into cop mode. And the husband's now mad at her because he's saying, I can handle this. It's her training to act like that, to check people. Hey, do this, do that, give orders. And he felt some kind of way about that. Hey, you usurping my man. You making my man. You questioning my. Well, first of all, is it really your man? Are you bothered by someone else stepping up to do something that you should do? And it's like, and maybe I'm vain enough to realize that my manhood would not be in question if a woman stepped up and started running off at the mouth. And then the guy that's with him, oh, you gonna let her speak for you? Yep. But most men couldn't do that. Most men would be, feel some kind of way. I believe they would actually feel some kind of way. I would have no problem for a woman stepping up for me to say, hey, leave him alone, or you don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. Now, if it gets physical, I got a problem with that. But then it just depends. 833-212-1017. What are your thoughts? I mean, do you support equality for men and women? Because I don't think I do. I honestly do not think that I support it. I think that there are some things women ought not be doing. Unless you absolutely have to, and you live in a house by yourself, or women are roommates and all, then I guess you got to do it. Like taking out the trash. I think that's a guy's job to take out the trash. It's nasty and it's stinky and it's funky, and women should not be taking out garbage. Oh, you're a traditionalist. No, I'm not a traditionalist. But I don't think women should be taking out the trash at home if it's a guy in the house. Women shouldn't be fixing windows and doors and all that. They shouldn't. They shouldn't be calling to get a new water heater, calling to get a new. I think it's men that need to step up and be men again. But I think we've lost that. I think we're raising a culture of boys that don't know how to be men. And there are too many examples for boys growing up without men in the house to be men. Because I know a lot of men that grew up without men in the house when they were a little boy and grew up to be a decent man. Like me. I grew up in a house where my father wasn't there. I think it can happen. I think it can happen. But I don't think men and women are equal. I think there's some things in life like men. And I'm not talking about carrying a baby. I'm not talking about physiological. I'm just talking about certain things in culture that they don't let women do and they don't let men do. Like, for instance, I don't know if it was race or whatever, but I was with a little boy. And the person is a friend of the family, and she's like a daughter. So she calls me dad, and her son calls me grandpa. Well, she happens to be a white female, and he's a little white male. A great hockey player, by the way. And I'm at the mall, and we're walking, and somebody called the police because he was crying because he wanted his mom, because mom was getting her hair done, and I was watching the kid. So somebody called the police and said, hey, there's this guy. I think he's holding this kid. And so, of course, they come in, and I don't say anything because I'm just like, whatever. And I didn't tell them at the time I was a police officer. I was a lieutenant. And so they asked him, well, who's that? He's like, that's my grandpa. No. Who's he really? He's like, my grandpa. Mom's getting her hair done, and that's my grandpa. I'm staying with him. Well, why are you crying? Because I wanted my mother. And I'm just standing there like, wow, do you look stupid? But we make what? We make certain assumptions about culture, about people. I have a question, but I think I'm going to ask it after the break. I'm afraid I got to ask Z whether or not I should ask it, because he's going to be like, wait, what? Okay. Let me see. Talking text line. Man up is disregarding feelings and thoughts to cater. Women don't. Let me see. Is this? Is doof goof a man or a woman? I can't tell. So woman? Oh, disregard. Okay. Disregard. Next. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, I have a question about something interracial. And I don't know how it's going to be accepted. So I got to ask a couple people to see, hey, if I ask, would I get would I get smacked or verbally smacked? 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
President Trump and Elon Musk are forcing radical changes in Washington, from stopping payments for health care and threatening to restrict abortion rights to accessing Americans' private information. With Washington out of control, who we elect to the Wisconsin Supreme Court could be the last line of defense of our rights. The ACLU Voter Education Fund does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to cast an informed vote in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So where do the candidates land on issues like abortion? Brad Schimmel stated he supports banning abortion. Susan Crawford successfully protected abortion rights while representing Planned Parenthood in Wisconsin. We need a Wisconsin Supreme Court that can be a check and balance to protect us when our rights are threatened at the federal level. On April 1st, Wisconsin voters will make a critical decision about the future of abortion in our state. To learn more about the Wisconsin Supreme Court candidates, visit aclu.org/WI2025. Paid for by ACLU Voter Education Fund, 212-549-2500. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
ACLU Voter Education Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMUL.org for more information.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What makes me happy?
Pass the peas like you used to say. Pass the peas like you used to say. Pass the peas like you used to say. Pass the peas like you used to say.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I can't wait for it to get warm, number one. Number two, we got to have some meetups. We got to have some meetups to hang out and run off at the mouth and do all sorts of things. 833-212-1017 is the number. Steven, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, Dr. Ken. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I couldn't help think of an instance that happened with me when you were talking about being with those 2 white children and the one boy was crying and somebody thought there was a problem. My 22-year-old son, he's black, and he comes to the same gym I do, and I run across him every once in a while, and I went up to him and was explaining that he was doing a certain machine wrong, and he said, "Okay, Dad, I understand," and I walked away, and somebody that worked at the gym thought that there was a problem and said, "Hey, was that guy giving you a hard time?" And he said, "No, that's my dad." And to this day, we just laugh about it. It's somebody just assumed the wrong thing.
And I think it's really a reflection. I think it's a reflection of a person's, I don't know how to say it, shortcomings or expectations. That looks out of order. That looks wrong because I don't like that, so that must be wrong. And yeah, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. We talk about that to this day, and we both laugh about it.
So
but anyway,
so when he was growing up, how did you handle that? How did you handle the looks and the people, staring, stuff like that?
Actually, there was not much of that. We had him when he was 5 months old as a foster child, and officially adopted him when he was a year. And he went to school in Whitefish Bay, and he was very much accepted. He played baseball and football, and all the parents loved him. He's outgoing, and his friends, are crazy about him, and there was really no problems.
And so, do you?
I was quite.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, I was just quite happy about it, and talking about the gym again, we raised him in a very loving way, and he'll see me at the gym, he'll come up to me, give me a big hug, "I love you, Dad," and that is the best feeling in the world.
So I have a question. What?
Yeah.
I don't know what the word drove or caused or, empowered you to adopt a black kid.
Okay, well, my ex-wife and I, and we get along very well, we said we just wanted to adopt someone from the county. First of all, we didn't have the financial wherewithal to do a foreign adoption, and neither did we want to do that. Charity starts at home.
Okay.
So we went through the county. And we got this beautiful boy, and the rest is history.
So did you choose him because he was black, or I don't know how to say it, in spite of being black? You just chose a kid.
He was the first one that we came across, and we loved him.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it, and thanks for your candor.
All right. You have a good day, Dr. Ken.
All right. You too. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I wonder how many black families adopt white babies. Or are there enough white babies to actually be adopted? I don't know. That's an interesting show, adoption. I would think that I would have the temerity to do that. I would think that I would have the wherewithal, being able to put up with drama from other people. I mean, I had to already, so it wasn't that different. But just putting up with other people's issues, been doing it for so long, you just it's just second nature. But thinking of interracial, I know I got about a minute. Have you ever seen an ugly interracial baby? I don't think I've ever seen an ugly interracial baby. And they grow up to be cute. But I think anybody can be cute. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. Anybody can be cute. But I've never seen an ugly baby. Now, I had a friend that was ugly, and he was probably ugly when he was a kid. Yeah, he was ugly when he was a kid, too. So, yeah. But then, you shouldn't call people ugly. I don't know. There are men that are more handsome than me, and there are men that are not more handsome than me. I get that. Somebody in the world's ugly. If I'm in a room full of male models, I'm the ugly guy. I get it. But I've never seen a baby that just wasn't gorgeous. Hey, y'all, top 5 at 5 up next.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. 2 brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I guess this is just a day of me making admissions of stuff that bothers me and stuff that, So after the top 5 at 5, I have an admission to make. Something that bothers me unmercifully. But I'm be tough. Let me check my talk and text line before I jump in because, I'll be gone for 29,000 years. So that was a beautiful story. Yes, it was. Thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, that was a beautiful. What it comes down to is if we're going to get over race, then we need to get over it. It either matters or it doesn't. This canceling black stuff and canceling stuff that doesn't reflect white culture and American culture, I think on President Trump's side is just absurd. It is just idiotic. Stupid. Dumb.
Number 5.
From thegrio.com, the U.S. Department of Defense removed a webpage dedicated to a decorated black veteran who served in the Vietnam War, characterized by his Medal of Honor as a DEI medal, only to later reinstate the page after online fury. The page in question spotlighted Army Major General He's a Major General, Charles Calvin Rogers, who received the Presidential Medal of Honor from Richard Nixon, Republican president, in 1970. According to the 2021 Defense article Spotlight, Rogers remains the highest-ranking Black American to receive the prestigious Medal of Honor. However, despite General Rogers' historic profile, the Defense Department took down the page dedicated to the Black veteran and showed a 404 page not found message and changed the URL to read DEI Medal. According to screenshots and internet archives as the page of the page reviewed by the Griot. It appears the page may have been taken down as a result of President Donald Trump's executive order abolishing diversity, equity, inclusion, and that is the idiocy and the stupidity of that order, because the assumption that most white people make or seem to make is that everything Black has to do with DEI and it's not deserved. And it's idiotic. It's idiotic. And so I think what's happening is I think people are taking advantage of that in addition to what Donald Trump did, in addition to the executive order. People are taking advantage of that and saying anything Black, any Black book, Black teachers, Black principals, Black CEOs, automatic, gone. And they're whitewashing everything. According to the archives reviewed by the Griot, the page honoring General Rogers appeared to have been removed and altered on Saturday and then reinstated on Monday following public blowback. The Defense Department said in a statement to the Griot that the page was removed as a result of an auto removal process. In other words, you searched anything that had Black or African American in it and you got rid of it. Luckily, I can't say those words that I'm thinking on the radio.
Number 4.
This from Politico.com. The Trump administration will not entertain a French politician's request. You ready? To return the Statue of Liberty to France. Absolutely not. My advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now, which is kind of true, says White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt in a press briefing today, likely referencing the American-French allyship during the World War II that snuffed out Nazi Germany. They should be grateful. Statement comes a day after a French member of the European Parliament, Raphael Glucksmann, said at a party convention that America under the Trump administration no longer embodied the spirit of the monument, which France gave to the U.S. in the 1880s to formalize diplomatic ties and enshrine the concept of American independence from Great Britain and the end of slavery. We're going to say to the Americans who have chosen to side with the tyrants, to the Americans who fired researchers for demanding scientific freedom, give us the Statue of Liberty back. That's what Glucksmann said. The Department of Health and Human Services purged thousands of scientists and public health leaders since the beginning of the second Trump administration. It's also slashed research grants across the country, and industry experts warn these moves could hollow out research institutes that rely on these funds for maintenance and daily operations. If the United States doesn't intend to restore these positions and funds, France, Glucksmann said, would gladly absorb the United States research sector. It's unclear how France would force the Trump administration's hand. The country cannot take back the statue at a whim because it's the property of the United States government, and such a move could also strain diplomatic tensions that French President Emmanuel Macron is still trying to smooth and soothe with President Donald Trump by brokering a peace deal to end a years-long war between Russia and Ukraine. So that'll go over well, you think? You think that'll go over well? I think it'll work out just fine. No.
Number 3.
Speaking of the military. So the Secretary of Defense, what's that dude's name? Used to be on Fox News. Secretary of Defense says there are new rules that were implemented. Ordered a review of grooming standards. Now, here's my caveat. Sometimes Black people find issues where there are no issues. Sometimes Black people make stuff look like it's bad without giving you all the information. Yeah, white people do it all the time, too. Anyway, from blackenterprise.com, based on a new policy, people who are inflicted with a skin condition that can cause pain and scarring on their face, razor bumps, from shaving can be kicked out of the military if it does not clear up within a certain amount of time. This may greatly affect black men. According to the Marine Corps Times, the United States Marine Corps has stated that any Marine who's been diagnosed with pseudofolliculitis barbae, you know what that is? Razor bumps. I had them when I was on the department. It was terrible. Has to undergo medical reevaluation within 90 days to see if they will still require a shaving waiver due to the condition. Okay, that does not say they're going to get thrown out of the military. That does not say that every 6 months I had to go to the doctor, get a note. The doctor said, yes, you've got pseudofolliculitis barbae, which is razor bumps. And if you shave too much, you'll bleed and scar and it'll damage your face. So I didn't shave. Every day I shaved every 2 or 3 days. I got a doctor's note. DermNet says that pseudofolliculitis barbae, PFB, is a common inflammatory reaction of the hair follicle, most often on the face as a result of shaving. The affliction is aggravated with regular shaving of the face. A message from the Marines stated, ensure the health, resilience, and discipline of our Marines and sailors is essential to sustaining our war fighting capability and maintain the high standards required to remain ready for any challenge. These standards ensure that we remain the world's premier fighting force, ready to fight and win with unwavering readiness, discipline, and lethality. The message was issued March 13th after Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered a review of military fitness and grooming standards. A treatment plan was suggested for Marines with pseudofolliculitis barbae and the goal of returning service members to grooming standards and ensuring maximum warfare readiness. I don't know if bumps on your face are going to do that. Phase 3 gives the Marine an additional 4 weeks of the same treatment if the condition remains. In the 4th phase, Marines whose razor bumps don't improve will be referred to a dermatologist for a potential laser treatment that will be paid for by the government. None of this says that they'll get thrown out. But yet the story in Black Enterprise says Marines could be kicked out due to new policy. It doesn't say that. Your own story, Cedric Thornton, doesn't say that. I'm just saying. Police departments deal with this all the time. Now, here's something that people should know. When you wear a gas mask, at one time, the government said if you had a beard, you couldn't wear one. Why is that? Because it won't seal properly. And if it doesn't seal properly, you need to sign a waiver. Because if it don't seal and you get gassed, somebody takes your weapon or you die, that's on you. So it's important that you stay shaved as close as possible, especially if you work on a specialty unit or you're in the military because you have warfare. Now, that's just normal. And watch this. You don't see this boatload of black Marines and black sailors screaming and hollering because they understand that you have to be battle ready. And that's just how it is. And if you don't want to do it, I guess you probably shouldn't be in the military.
Number 2.
So from FoxNews.com, another dumb statement. President Donald Trump claims that former President Joe Biden's pardons of lawmakers who served on the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th Capitol riot and others are void, alleging they had been signed via an auto pen and that Biden does not even know about them. The pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of political thugs and many others were hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by auto pen. Guess what? So if Joe Biden really didn't sign them, you know how many people use auto pen? And that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it just makes no sense. And number 2, you can't void pardons that another president gave. It's not my decision. It'll be up to a court. No, it's not. They are not going to void it. The Supreme Court is going to be like, absolutely not. President Biden gave them to them, and they're done. And there's nothing you can do. Go somewhere and sit down. It's just dumb. It's like a kid in a candy store. I could take it. I could just get everything. I could just do anything I want. Actually, no, you can't.
Number 1.
From the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, JS Online, the new superintendent is here. She envisions a community-led, community-driven district. This is a story by Alec Johnson. I don't really understand what she means, but she says that as Brenda Caselius started her first week as superintendent of MPS today, her top priority is handling the lead crisis in district schools. She said during a media period at a 4K through 8th grade Bethune Academy, making sure that parents know that our schools are safe to send them to and that our students feel comfortable coming to school. So getting underneath that is my number one priority. How about scores, Ms. Superintendent? Scores. Like reading, writing, arithmetic. Before you start doing all this other stuff and the scores are still terrible, you're going to have to multitask. Caselius was at the school having lunch with students, touring the school and meeting students and staff on her first day. Her contract began Saturday. Other top priorities: getting vacancies filled in the executive team and getting the district's academic programming in order. She confirmed that 25 school resource officers were at MPS today. Officers are required to be at MPS schools by state law under Act 12, and that a district parent filed a lawsuit against MPS. You know that in the city they didn't have them, and all 25 are on duty and doing well. I checked at the mayor's office, and there's been no incidents, and there's nothing going on. It's been a great day so far. Clearly, she don't know Milwaukee. In response to a question about parental concerns over SROs, Caselius said that the officers would follow a community policing model, which is a good model for building relationships with students. Why are people acting like cops were never in schools? This is just the dumbest thing in the world. I know you don't like the police. If you don't like the police being in public schools, do not send your child to public schools. Take advantage of choice if you're able, and go. Beat it. Scram. Like, what is that? This is no occupying force, or they're gonna walk in and I'll be mean to other kids. They are not. And if they are, they should be fired. They should be relieved of their jobs, because that's not what's going to happen. Now, when your kid acts up and your kid want to fight and they commit a crime, they're going to get arrested. They're going to get arrested. So before you start to scream and holler and cry and all that because some kid is doing something wrong, well, you should get ready for that. Hey, it's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris, that's me, for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We talk a lot about unprecedented quality and service you get from Pella. But talking to the people who actually work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. Pella's team is with you from start all the way to the finish, installation, everything. They don't just disappear after the sale. Right now, take advantage of windows as low as $22 per month, doors as low as $89 a month. Did I say lower or low? Anyway, certain restrictions apply. Offer ends March 31st. Today is the 17th. So you got till March 31st, 2025 to do what? Well, first place you need to go is PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. Take advantage. $22 windows, $89 doors per month. No, the door don't cost $89. You got to pay $89 a month. But think about that. They got certain restrictions. Ends March 31st. Check it out. PellaWI.com.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join your boy Tory Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tory Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMU.org for more information.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
We expect our judges to be fair, impartial, to keep us safe. But Brad Schimmel cut plea deals with child pornographers. He blamed underage victims of sexual assault for their bad judgment. And Schimmel joined extreme MAGA Republicans in trying to ban abortion statewide, even for victims of rape and incest. Now he wants us to put him on the Supreme Court, where he could strip away our rights and be a rubber stamp for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Brad Schimmel, dangerous, extreme, and unfit for the Supreme Court. Judge Susan Crawford knows right from wrong and has spent her life keeping us safe. Crawford protected nursing home patients from identity theft and fought for the rights of workers across Wisconsin. Crawford will always protect our right to choose and is the check and balance we need against Donald Trump and Elon Musk. On April 1st, Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not a shy little girl, I'm a wizard. With a pearl in my hand, with a heavy dose of adrenaline, call me a chemical man. I'm not a shy girl, I'm a wizard. Do I have to say it again? I'm like a mystic stuck on a gumball. Decorate me with the stars. Yeah, I wanna fly. Desolate space in my body. Yeah, I wonder why. Open me up if you dare. Open me up if you dare. I am a mystery.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Because I'm not a shy little girl. I'm a wizard. 833-212-1017 is the number. Should I get over not liking Will Smith? Anybody? Yeah. Anyway, Gary said vote. Come on, man. If you want me to say that, come on the show. 833-212-1017. If you running for office, don't send a text. Come on the show. I'm just saying. Will Smith. Should I forgive Will Smith? for slapping my dude. Well, Chris Rock forgave him. I would have locked his behind up. Should I? 833-212-1017. You can just send me a talk or send me a text on the talk and text line or on the YouTube chat. You know, you can stream and watch us on YouTube, and you can also go to 1017thetruth.com and make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss us when we're live. Okay? So, but yeah, it's... Because he got banned from Hollywood for 10 years. How many years has it been? Like 2 or 3? And dude got to make some money, and he got investments. So guess what he doing? Did you hear? He making an album. The actor who rose to fame as a rapper announced he has a new album coming. It's official. My new album is based on a true story. Drops March 28th. Smith wrote in a post on social media, 2 weeks. Hit that pre-save. Been working on this project for a minute, and I'm itching to get it out to y'all. His last album, Lost and Found, was released March of 2005. Smith also shared a track list of his new project, which includes collaboration with Tiana Taylor, Jack Ross, and Obanga. DJ Jazzy Jeff Smith, longtime friend and collaborator with whom he had the 1991 hit Summertime, is also listed on the opening track. He released the single Beautiful Scars in January, shortly after he spoke about how the new music was a departure from some of his previous work in an interview with Big Boy's Neighborhood. There's a thing, there's a brand that is Will Smith, you know, and the brand is slightly different from the man. He said, the brand is just a really narrow slice of what the man is, and the man is has expanded in a way that the brand can almost feel like a prison. Okay. Do I want to bother with him? Do I want to bother with this? Do I want to bother listening to this? I don't know. Do I really want to bother? Should I even forgive dude? I mean, he didn't slap me, so it's not really like forgiving him, you know? But should I let him back into my... Should we give him his black card back? They should have took his black card. I don't know. I'm still torn. I guess I'm just disappointed. Are you disappointed in Will Smith, or he just, I don't know. I'm just disappointed. Very disappointed. See, I would have waited till the cameras went off, then I'd have punched him in the face. But I wouldn't slap him. Because I can go to jail for the same thing as punching. All right? But with the cameras off, I'll be like, them people just don't like me. That's why they lying and saying I punched them in the face. I never punched. What you talking about? Me? I never did that. I never do that. So, yeah, Will Smith. I don't know. Hey, when we come back, I got some information on. Remember we talked about it even when we were back at the other place about they're going to be expanding I-94, and then y'all forgot about it, and they said it was going to be coming up around 2005, and it was like 2001, and they was like, nobody really cared. Well, guess what? They're having an open house so you could talk about it, and you know when the state wants to talk to you about something, that means that they're going to do it. And now on 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica. How's it going?
Northbound on 43. We are backing up from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe, so give yourself that extra time. On the southbound side, we're slowing down before the Marquette, all the way down through the Marquette, all the way down past Beecher. On the Beecher off-ramp, there is a violator that got pulled over, so a little bit of a distraction there. We've also got a crash heading into the Mitchell interchange on 4394 southbound, so give yourself that extra time. It is off on the right shoulder, luckily, just before you hit the Mitchell interchange after the Plainfield curve. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, breezy with a low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high in the 40s to the north, 50 in Milwaukee, 60s to the south. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Women's History Month. Listen to one of our incredible Truth teammates highlight the remarkable achievements of Black women throughout history.
Hi, this is Bailey Coleman from the award-winning 1017 The Truth. For Women's History Month, I want to highlight the woman known as the mother of Black Hollywood, Jennifer Lewis, for the incredible impact she's had on stage and screen for the African-American culture. Now, Jennifer is known for her more than 300 appearances for film, television, stage, and cabaret, performing comedy and drama as an unforgettable lead or a scene-stealing supporting character. Jennifer has established herself as one of the most respected, admired, talented, and celebrated entertainers working today. These days, you may know her best as the hilarious mother of actor Anthony Anderson on the top-rated comedy Blackish. However, Jennifer earned her title as Mother of Black Hollywood by playing the role of Mama to some of Black Hollywood's biggest stars, including Whitney Houston, Tupac Shakur, Taraji P. Henson, and more. Jennifer Lewis has been honored with a host of awards for her work in numerous television shows and films, including the Emmys, NAACP Image Awards, and of course the Black Reel Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series. Her impact as a stabilizing, loving mother figure in films and television has made her a key figure and an unforgettable woman in the Black culture. Thank you to the amazing Jennifer Lewis for her contributions and for being the mother we all had in our favorite films and television shows.
Tune in to The Truth as we celebrate the greatness of Black women all month long.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snibe. The Milwaukee Bucks dropped a tough one on Sunday night, falling to OKC by a final score of 121-105. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers discussing his team not playing up to the best team from the West.
I think that was the difference, and you can feel it, you can see it. I thought the one guy with us was Giannis. I thought he had that intention. He felt that. No one else. I don't think anyone else did. I thought that was the difference in the game.
Next up for the Bucks is a 10-day road trip out west. They'll start with Golden State on Tuesday night. Over to college hoops, where the Wisconsin Badgers fell to Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. The Badgers did, however, secure the 3 seed in the bracket. They'll face off with 14th-seeded Montana on Thursday to begin the tournament. And Marquette awarded the 7th seed. They'll face off against New Mexico on Friday in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Hey, Truth Nation. The Gruber Law Office Analysis Live is back and takes place Saturday, March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis Antetokounmpo for a live show that is going to entertain fans like none other, with special guest Brandon Jennings and so many more surprise guests. But you're going to have to be there, because you never know who's going to be joining Thanasis Live. So, get your tickets now for Thanasis Live on March 29th, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, by visiting ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter for event and ticket info. Excitement, entertainment, all that. Can't get anywhere else except right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. 833-212-1017 is the number. There's going to be an open house for Interstate 94 expansion project. Milwaukee's West Side is set for Tuesday, March 18th and Wednesday, March 19th. That's according to the DOT, that's Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Both will present the same information about the project schedule, final design elements, initial construction staging, and traffic considerations. March 18th will be an open house from 4 to 7 at State Fair Park, the Tommy Thompson Youth Center, 640 South 84th Street, West Dallas. And March 19th, open house will be from 5 to 8 p.m., Marquette University High School, 3401 West Wisconsin. So here's the deal. The first segment of the freeway construction will start this year. It'll run through 2032. Okay, you ready? 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 7 years, $1.74 billion. The reconstruction project, including widening I-94 from 6 lanes to 8 lanes between 16th and 70th. It's needed to reduce congestion and improve safety, says Wisconsin DOT and business groups that support the expansion. So here's the kicker. If you live in that neighborhood that's just abuts the highway, that's probably not the place to live. So I remember that area around Blue Mound, and I forget the name of the neighborhood. It was south. It's just west of the ballpark, just west of Mueller Park, and it runs west. And there's that neighborhood along 51st, 52nd, 53rd, and Blue Mound south of there. And it's a beautiful neighborhood, and even thought about buying a house over there until I realized all of the houses along the expressway were for sale. And I started asking myself, okay, so what am I missing? What am I missing that I need to know? And so I started doing some Googling and some searching, and I checked the county and checked the city and checked the state. Ding! They're expanding the road. So wait a minute. I walk out my door and I walk across the street and the expressway's right there. And if they're going to expand it, then there's a good possibility that the city or the state is going to declare eminent domain, pay me money for my house. And people think that's a great thing, but if you owe, like, I don't know, you do a good down payment and you just bought a house and a year or two in, basically the money they give you has to cover the cost of your house. And then you pay back the loan and you got a couple of what? Couple grand? What do you do then? How do you find another house? Where do you move to? Opponents say a 6-lane reconstructed freeway with increased mass transit would be large enough to accommodate traffic. But traffic is really, sometimes those are the people who are just, some of those people are just, anti-car, anti-breathing. So, I don't know. They're going to expand it, so there's really not much you can do. And when they're having a hearing, They're having a hearing to inform you about what they're about to do. They're not having a hearing so that you can say, I don't like it, because that's irrelevant. They already got the federal funding, and they're moving forward. What's up, Lana Banana? And they're moving forward. And there's really nothing we can do. We can complain about it. And so I asked years ago, is this a done deal? Like, yeah, we're moving forward, and it'll be starting in about 4 years. We had some holdups because of COVID and all this other stuff. But now they got it. $1.74 billion. How much you want to bet that their cost overruns? How much you want to bet? And if it overruns, where's the money coming from? And so now we'll have an 8-lane highway. And so when we say 6 to 8, that means that you got to add 2 lanes on the westbound side of I-94 and 2 lanes on the eastbound side of I-94. And it's not coming from the middle because there's nothing in the middle. So the only thing they can do is tear down. Okay. So I guess that street that runs along the highway, the expressway, is going to be jacked up. And if you live there, are you going to be able to get to your house? Are you going to be able to park? And if you don't have an alley, you're just done. And there's nothing you can do. And that's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. And I'm glad I didn't move down there. I'm glad I did not move into that neighborhood. I would be really, really mad. I would have lived there for, let me see, a little under 20 years, 19 years right now. But doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to expand the expressway, but will there be jobs for people? And what happens to all the laws in Wisconsin that says that you have set-asides? Did Donald Trump's executive order just wipe that away? It was only DEI. I think people are applying DEI to some really weird things, and you can't overturn, like Act 7. I'm sorry, Title 7. Like, there are a lot of things that you just can't overturn and make go away because you decide that you don't really like it. Like Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act. Like, it prohibits employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, including pregnancy, childbirth, a medical condition, sexual orientation, transgender status, national origin, all those things. It's illegal for employers to discriminate. Job applicants, all that. So you're going to wipe that away? No, you can't do that. See, the one thing they can never wipe away, and don't conflate the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and DEI, because one has nothing to do with the other. A lot of people are walking around thinking that this is going to stop with black this and this is going to stop. That's federal law. Donald Trump can't change federal law. He can't change the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission because it's for everybody. Title VII is for everybody. It includes black people. Disparate treatment, disparate impact, harassment, retaliation, denying a job to qualified applicants based on race or sex. So if you really want everything to be on merit, that's great. But when you tell me I can't get a job because I'm black, or if I keep not getting jobs and I can show that I am more than qualified over the other people, you get sued. Creating a hostile work environment through discriminatory comments and actions. Making statements, DEI is over. Is that creating a hostile work environment? What about retaliating against an employee who actually reports discrimination? Have to be careful of those things. Civil Rights Act of 1964 is powerful, but it ain't just for black people. It's for everybody. And if you treat somebody wrong, just like you're doing now, dismissing black people because you think DEI is what it was, or people under the erroneous idea that affirmative action is over, it's not. It's not. It's following what this says. You can't have disparate treatment. You can't discriminate based on religion or religious practices. You can't discriminate based on individuals' racial heritage. That is why the Asian kid won getting into Harvard. He had better scores, better everything, and he never got in. And when they asked him why he didn't get in, they told him because of minorities. And he's a minority. He's Asian. But they wanted black people. And so then the question becomes, did you choose black people who were unqualified to go to Harvard so they could fail? Or did you choose qualified people to go to Harvard? Like, it's just, like, where does that end? Where do you err on the side of we're going to give qualified black people the ability to go to law school and medical school and all that? Because you can't just roll into those schools, dental school, podiatrist. You can't just roll into that school. You have to actually take a test and get in and be able to do your job. And I think that's what people miss when we talk about that. We got an inordinate amount of black doctors who've done phenomenal work. I got one. And that's just how it is. 833-212-1017 is the number. Vincent, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening, Dr. Ken. My point is, regardless of the law, where do you go for remedy in the federal government? The fact is, Donald Trump has basically fired people in the EEOC, and basically closed it down. He's told the DOJ.
Well, EEOC is not closed down. He let go some people, but it's not closed down.
Well, the fact is that he asked the DOJ that if they have any discrimination cases pending, that they basically need to drop them, and they're not going to entertain any more discrimination cases unless it's against white folks.
Well, the Supreme Court will turn that over. Supreme Court will turn that over.
And he got rid of the discrimination department in the Social Security Administration. So where do you go in the federal government for remedy if you feel that you're discriminated against?
You can still go to the EEOC.
Well, the fact is, if he's cut it. But my point is that if he's let go of the people, and to me basically gutted it, and that's what he's doing, and then he puts his people in there. They're not going to entertain anybody coming up there that's being discriminated against.
But we can't make that assumption. Let it happen and then sue. But we can't say we think something's going to happen and it hasn't happened, or we think somebody's going to do something. We need to let it happen and then get a plaintiff and take it to court and take it to the Supreme Court. Because I'm telling you, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is on your side. This assumption that people make about and equating DEI, motivated race, and sex discrimination has absolutely nothing to do that a white person or anybody who discriminates against anybody, man to woman, woman to man, all that. And so them trying to reword it isn't going to change constitutionally what we have. You got to fight them. But we can't just assume that they're not going to hear anything and we're not going to win. That's just not true.
Well, I totally agree with you. We have to fight. The point is we have to fight. The fact is that the laws are there, and the fact is hopefully the courts will support that law, and that's where we can kind of lay our heads on it, and hopefully that can happen. But the fact is that this administration is trying its best. It's trying its best to say that everything that's black is basically DEI related,
and it's stupid.
And DEI related, and the fact is that when you look at the achievements of African Americans in this country, they're trying to diminish it slowly but surely through this administration, and I think it's downright racist to me.
Honestly, I don't know what it is they're trying to do, because when you do this, you know who's going to hurt more than anybody, right? White women.
No.
White women. They're the ones that have been filing the suits. They're the ones that have been saying it's sex discrimination. They're the ones that have been trying to get rights. So, I mean, if that's your jam, do it. knock yourself out, but I'm not going to let it stop me.
Exactly, but the point is, we have seen when it comes to going after black people, they will sacrifice anybody they have to sacrifice.
Well,
because I think that
both parties have sacrificed us. Both parties have punked us. So the fight that I'm not seeing in black people now disturbs me because we had to fight like this against Democrats before we started voting Democrat. So something got lost over the generations where we forgot that both parties have jacked us, both parties kept us in slavery, both parties have diminished us. This ain't a new phenomenon that just Republicans did. Everybody's done it.
Well, everybody has done it, but the fact is the Republicans are off the bat, and so the fact is when they decide to take away DEI, they start to take away.
You can't take away. It was a policy. They didn't take away DEI. It was a policy that people followed. There was no law for DEI. There wasn't.
No, there was no law. But the point is when you begin to go after departments in the federal government, when you begin to go after companies, the fact is it becomes a snowballing effect.
Absolutely.
And so what happens when you start to diminish these things, begin to go after black history in this country, to go after black achievement in this country.
If you let them. You can cry and talk about it, or you can fight it. Let's start fighting.
That's what I say. Well, we need to start fighting again. We need to get back into the streets like we did before. Get back in the streets.
I don't think that's going to help. I don't think that's going to help. You're going to lose that fight.
I think it will help.
You're going to lose that fight. You're going to lose that fight. That's just me.
I believe in the power of the people. I believe in the power of the people.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
I said getting in the street, that ain't going to win nothing.
Well, okay. Well, I believe that we did it before that way, and I think we can do it again.
Okay, because I think you got two generations that will tell you they ain't doing that. See?
No, well, I hope they understand. I hope they understand what kind of world they're going to be living in.
Well, there are other ways.
Living in if they don't.
Vincent, you and I will talk offline, and we'll talk about some ways that you can do that.
All right.
Take care, brother.
Dr. Ken.
All right.
You have a good one, man. Bye-bye.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
We expect our judges to be fair, impartial, to keep us safe. But Brad Schimmel cut plea deals with child pornographers. He blamed underage victims of sexual assault for their bad judgment. And Schimmel joined extreme MAGA Republicans in trying to ban abortion statewide, even for victims of rape and incest. Now he wants us to put him on the Supreme Court, where he could strip away our rights and be a rubber stamp for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Brad Schimmel, dangerous, extreme, and unfit for the Supreme Court. Judge Susan Crawford knows right from wrong and has spent her life keeping us safe. Crawford protected nursing home patients from identity theft and fought for the rights of workers across Wisconsin. Crawford will always protect our right to choose and is the check and balance we need against Donald Trump and Elon Musk. On April 1st, Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service you get from Pella, but talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. Helping fulfill people's dreams is very rewarding to them, and it shows through their tremendous efforts. Pella consultants take the time to listen to each customer, finding the right solution that works for their home. They know that everyone's situation is different. Maybe you have a historic home you're renovating, or it's a new build with unique finishes. Pella designers can customize windows and doors to perfectly match any one-of-a-kind abode. They're with you from start till finish. It's like having a friend on call throughout the project and beyond. They don't disappear after the sale. Right now, take advantage of windows as low as $32 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Certain restrictions apply. Ends March 31st, 2025. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I think if I get hit by a truck, I don't know if I'm probably going to be able to call you. I'm just saying. Talking text line, Ann said, things are not being taken away en masse. Let things unfold. The problem is, if you let things unfold slowly, you lose everything before you know. Before you look up, you won't notice. It'll be little by little, incremental by incremental, and then all of a sudden you'll look up and everything will be reversed back to the way it was in the 1960s. You got to be careful of that. Wake up. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. What's today? Monday. You know what's coming up. Truth Unfiltered with D.T. Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris. So make sure you hang around. For more radio, I'm here till 8 o'clock. And I'll see you again tomorrow. So I guess in that 22 hours, it'll be like 20 hours. But then I'll be back. So, hey, God bless. Take care. Thank you for the comments, Ann. Appreciate it. We'll have to chop it up about that a little later. Thank you, DJ Brother Z. Appreciate you. God bless y'all this Monday. Be careful. Be safe. I'm out.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community.